Okay, we're going to try this again. I don't know what happened, why my broadcast failed, but anyway, I'm back, and so we're gonna try this again. Good evening, guys. Of course, I am Juju, coming to you guys live this evening from my kitchen, and I hate when things are always acting crazy, but that doesn't matter. We're good. We're good. Anyway, okay. So, what is that? This right video? No, that's not the right one. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right, doll, you're back. I'm back. So let's see if we can get ourselves moving. Okay. I don't know what. No, that is probably not the right one. Okay. Everything is saying I'm live. Okay. But anyway, alrighty. So, okay, Miss Glennie, I don't know what, all right. So, okay, how's everybody doing? Y'all forgive me. My phone, for some reason, my stuff is acting crazy. And so we're gonna, go ahead now and try this again. All right. So I am Juju, coming to you live from my kitchen. If you don't mind, hello, doll. I see you out there. And everybody else, let me know that you're out there. Tell me hello. And also do me a favor, and if you don't mind, liking and sharing the video. We do have an important discussion tonight. And also, I'm going to need your commentary and your thoughts and your opinions on what's going on, because this is a discussion that we need to have and we need to keep having. And not only do we need to talk about it, but we need to decide what we can do about it, and we need to be about it. Hello, Duchess. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. All righty. Okay. I see the people. Hey. Thank you, Duchess, for sharing the video. Thank you so much. All righty then. So, tonight, of course, I am Juju, and I am your host. And tonight we're going to talk about the gerrymandering and everything that is going on, the state of play with all of that gerrymandering and all these southern states that are trying to move so quickly to district their congressional maps, redo their congressional maps to basically whitewash their congressional congregation. So anyway, assembly. But anyway, on April the 29th, the Supreme Court ruled that Louisiana's creation of a second majority black congressional district violated the Equal Protection Clause. Okay, it said it violated the Equal Protection Clause, holding that race-conscious redistricting is unconstitutional, even when intended to remedy racial vote dilution. And this was a result of Louisiana versus Calais. The majority opinion, written by Justice Samuel Alito, emphasized that Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act does not justify creating districts based on race unless there is clear evidence of intentional discrimination. Okay. This ruling effectively hollowed out Section 2's enforcement mechanism, which has previously allowed courts to require additional opportunity districts or minority districts, when minority voting power was diluted. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about the impact of Louisiana versus Calais and what, if anything, can be done to combat the racial gerrymandering that has commenced as a result of this decision. Now, we know already that before this Supreme Court decision, that our president, or the gentleman, the man, the guy in office, had already called upon Republican states to go out and gerrymander their congressional districts to try to get more Republican seats. And in that gerrymandering, of course, when you're trying to get more Republican seats, because of the way that the population votes, and especially the black population, vast majority vote Democratic. When you're trying to get more Republican seats, you're getting rid of Democratic seats, and you're getting rid of seats that are held by African Americans. And so as a result of Calais, we are seeing so much gerrymandering and so many districts where majority people held office being wiped out or diluted by white voters, that we may go back to, in our congressional delegations in the House, go back to numbers that resemble those coming out of Reconstruction. So it is a very, this is a very big deal, guys. I'll just say that, a very big deal. So my first question, the icebreaker question that I have for you guys, and I need y'all to help me, okay, is, do you think that Louisiana versus Calais is setting up a system of taxation without representation for Black Americans, especially those in the South? You know that America broke away from Great Britain because they said that they were being taxed, but they had no representative voice. So do you think that that same thing is happening to Black people, minorities, Black and brown people, especially in the South, with this Calais? So what do you guys think? Do you think this is creating a system of taxation without representation for Black and brown people? What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know your opinion out there. That's our icebreaker question for tonight. Is Calais causing taxation without representation? What do you guys think about that? Well, what we do know is that what we do know, guys, is that over 50% of all black people live in the South. And the largest number of black people in America are in the South. And so what do you think? What do you guys think about that? Do you think that Louisiana versus Calais is setting up a system of taxation without representation for black Americans? We'll continue on. Although 56% of all blacks in America live in the South, southern states are moving quickly to redraw their congressional maps since this Supreme Court ruling, which virtually rendered null and void the Voting Rights Act. It minimizes their majority-minority districts, and some states are getting rid of ridding their state of all of their majority-minority districts. We look at states like Tennessee and Mississippi, Louisiana. They're trying to get rid of all of their, Florida, they're trying to get rid of all of their majority-minority districts. This, in essence, is limiting the voice of the black population in these states. Some of the states who have moved to withdraw their districts are Louisiana, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Tennessee. And I know that the governor in Georgia is calling for a special election, as well as other a special session, calling a special session of their Congress in order to discuss this matter. State representatives will use the excuse, and you will see that many state representatives will use the excuse of being a conservative state to justify them wanting to rid their state of majority-minority districts. So they say because the majority of the state may be conservative, then that means the rest of the people shouldn't have a say or shouldn't have a voice. And we see that most of these states have a pretty high percentage of black voters. You see, like Alabama has 26% black voters, Georgia 31.34%. Florida has a smaller number of black voters, but they have a larger number of Hispanic voters as well. So that's 15.34% of black, but then the Hispanics and others is as well 15 to 16%. So that's over 30%. Louisiana has 31% black voters. Mississippi, who is moving to get rid of all their only majority district, has 36% black voters. South Carolina, 25% of their voters are black voters. So, guys, help me out. I need to hear from you all out there. Let me know what you're thinking. The next question is, do you think that state congressional representation should mirror the state political as well as racial makeup. Do you think if you have 25% of your state or 30% of your state black, should your congressional makeup, congressional delegation represent or mirror that makeup? And I just think if you're going to do things fairly, I think, yeah, it should. It should mirror that. It should mirror that makeup. What do you guys think? Anybody out there have an opinion on that? Should your congressional delegation that you send to the National Congress, shouldn't it look like your state? Shouldn't it mirror your state? Shouldn't it look like the population of your state? I think it should. That is only fair. If there are 25%, if you have a 40-60 Democrat Republican state, then the representation that you send to the federal government, that you send to Congress, should be 60-40. That's just my opinion. If we want everybody to have a voice and their voice be heard, and their voice be represented in the national Congress. That's the purpose of Congress, and especially the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives is supposed to be the voice of the people. And if 40% of my people, like Alabama, 40% is Democrats and 60% Republicans. So when people say this is a conservative state, that's not a big difference. It's not like it's 80-20. No, it's not like that. So you should have 0 black people, which is 25% of the state. You should have 0 Democrats, which are 40% of the state, because you say that 60% of the state is conservative. The rest of the state should not have a voice. How is that fair representation? Sounds a lot like taxation with no representation to me. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm the only one who is dumbfounded or passionate about this. Maybe I'm the only one who feels like this is crazy. This is something that we have to fight against. And if that's the case, if you all think that this is not something we should be worried about, not something we should be concerned about, not something that we should be thinking about, then tell me that too. Tell me, Julia, this is not top of mind for us. This redistricting, this stripping states of black representation for the House of Representatives. And then it also will impact, these laws will of course impact not only national government but local government as well. So anyway, so y'all, does anybody out there have an opinion? Oh, Jonina says she can't access the comment section. Oh, okay. Are y'all unable to access the comment section? Because I don't know what's going on today with this. I don't know. Let me see. JoJo testing. Okay, so I think it's letting me send. I know I've sent some. They're showing up that I posted on, posted on my computer as well as on my, as well as on my cell phone. Duchess or Vinny E or Althea, I see y'all out there. If y'all can write a comment, just put something in there. Hello, or we're here, or we can comment, so I know if people are able to comment or not able to comment. But anyway, just one of you guys, just put something in there to let me know if you can or cannot comment. And if you can't comment, then send me a message on Messenger. Okay, this is a test. All right, Glennie. Okay, thank you so much. So, okay, Janina, you are able to get in there now. Great. Okay, I want everybody to be able to comment. But anyway, so Janina, you're saying, okay, hey, Althea, y'all not talking to me. Hello, Miss Eddie Jones. Y'all talk to me. Don't let me talk to myself. Y'all talk back to me. So, do you think that a state's congressional delegation should look like the state? Jonina says work and I had to exit and come back. Okay, well, I'm glad you are able to comment. Now I'm ready for your comments, Jonina. But anyway, so Duchess said I can comment just doing other stuff. Oh, okay. All righty. And Darlene Todd, hello. All right, thank you. I'm just trying to make sure you guys can comment. All right, so my next question is, Vinny E says, this is a very big deal. Thank you, Vinny E. I want somebody to tell me it's a big deal. It will have an impact on the resources that we need for our communities. Yes, it's going to have the resources because you're not going to have anybody there that's representing your interests in Congress. You're not going to have anybody in there that's representing your community's interests. We already have to fight and scrape and scratch so much in our minority communities to get any resources. And we see, guys, I hope you guys see things that are taking place now, like with Medicaid and hospitals being shut down in rural areas and Medicaid being cut and food assistance benefits being cut. And they have raised the able-bodied adult age from 59, with 60 years old, to 65 years old. So you have to, in order to receive food assistance, if you're not disabled, and even if you're getting Social Security, even if you have worked and you have retired, you're 62, you're still required to go out and work in order to receive any SNAP benefits. And it's just so much. And then the cut that they have made to SNAP, where they're making states have a 25-75 split where it comes to administrative costs, where it was 50-50. So that is increasing the state costs for SNAP program by 25%. And then in addition to that, they're wanting states to pay a portion of the benefits. Now, previously and right now, the federal government pays all of the benefits, 100%. But now they're going to base it on error rates. And based on Alabama's current error rates, it could be up to $300 million a year with that increased administrative cost and paying their portion of the benefits. And that, guys, honestly, could lead to Alabama not having a food assistance program at all. And I'm sure some of these other states in the South are looking and thinking at the same thing, because you don't have $300 million to put into. The state doesn't have $300 million to put into the SNAP program, honestly. And so what are you going to do? so there's a lot that is going on that we need to take very seriously. We need to think about these things. We need to be informed. I know a lot of times people will say, well, we just leave it up to God, turn it over to God. And I believe in prayer, but the Bible says you have to watch as well as pray. And it also says that faith without work is dead, being alone. So you got to watch what your enemy is doing, and then you got to you got to develop a plan of how you're going to counteract that, and then you got to work out that plan. But anyway, Jonina says we have to be accountable for our actions. We have to put in the work. We have to put in the work, and as voters and supporting the cause, we do have to put in the work. And Jonina, we do have to be responsible for our actions, and accountable for our actions. And part of the actions that we have to be accountable for is the fact that in 2024, so many people decided to sit out. I'm going to sit this one out. I don't like either one of the candidates, or I don't think a woman should be president, or I'm upset about what's going on in Gaza and all these kind of things. So we decided to set this one out. And when we set this one out, we ended up with a Trump on steroids. And they had told us in Project 2025 exactly what their plans were. They did not make it a secret. And when we allowed them to get back into office, that signal to them, okay, we have the country's stamp of approval, so they're full speed ahead with enacting all of the vicious things and plans that they laid out in Project 2025. So we cannot afford to be complacent. We cannot afford to sit back and let someone else lead. We cannot afford to sit back and rest on what Dr. King did, and what Medgar Evers did, and what Rosa Parks did, and what all of the voters' rights, what they did back in the 60s. We cannot rest on what our ancestors did. It's time out for that. It's our time for us to step up. Those late baby boomers, the Gen X's, the millennials, and the Gen X, Gen Y. Wait a minute. Okay, millennials and Gen Z's. It's our time. All these different generations. Woo, God. It's our time to step up. All right, so let me ask you guys this. In light of these southern states gerrymandering their congressional maps, do you think more progressive states should do the same to try to level the playing field? I know that they are pushing some some more progressive states who are reluctant, because we always want to play softball, and it's not right. It's not, but you can't go to a gun fight with a knife. You just can't do it. And that's what Democrats have been doing too long. We've been going to a gunfight with a knife. Time is out for that. They are trying to encourage Maryland and Illinois and some of these other states that are more progressive Democrat-leaning states to get in and change their maps to try to level the playing field. Because if we don't have a level playing field, then we are in for some very tough times. The more progressive states have to do it. Time to fight fire with fire. Yes, it's time to fight fire with fire. And I'm with you, Edgar. They have no other choice. We have no choice. If not, because the Republican plan is for them to get in there, gerrymander these maps, get all these congressional delegates, create a system where they can never lose again. They want to, because, you know, we already have this system of the electoral college, which is not really representative of the the makeup of the country, which it gives an unfair advantage, really, I think, to the red states, because, you know, those small red states have weight that they should not have when we have had so many elections where the majority of votes didn't elect the president. That's already part of what they have going on with this electoral college. So when they can get more of these electoral districts and congressional districts, they are trying to create a system where no Democrat can ever win the White House again. So we have to take this very seriously. We have to fight fire with fire, and we have to do it aggressively, and we have to do it with all sense of urgency. This is situation critical right now. Jonina said, I feel that we're living in an age where whoever has the money has the power. And that is true. That is true, because you see, because the fact that the administration that we have in place now is so corrupt, so money hungry, there is a price. There is a price. You can buy anything you want from this administration. Just let them name their price. And if you're willing to pay, Jonina, if you have the money, you're willing to pay, they're willing to play in this administration. They're just trying to get money. They are milking this country for every dime it has. And Republicans are just sitting back watching. And I don't know what they think is going to be the ultimate result. You see that they're selling an agreement with Donald Trump where he was suing the IRS for $10 billion because his taxes were leaked. And so now they want to, the judge said, wait a minute, this doesn't even seem like a valid case because you are the plaintiff and the defendant, Donald Trump. So you can't have a case against yourself. And so end around the court, okay, well, the Justice Department, Donald Trump again, we'll go ahead and we're just going to do a settlement, and we're going to give him $1.7 billion where he can give it to whoever he wants to. He can sit out and make all of these people who attacked the Capitol on January 6th, he can make them all millionaires. Reward them for their service to him. But anyway, alrighty. So let me ask you guys this question. Do you think gerrymandering of the maps have more to do with disenfranchising black voters, or the Republican Party's trying to maintain control of Congress? Do you think it has more to do with gerrymandering, has more to do with disenfranchising black voters, or the Republican Party trying to maintain control of Congress? You know what, guys? I'm going to tell y'all this. I know they are trying to maintain control of Congress. And if you had asked me before all this started, I would have said that was their primary purpose. But now when you hear what they say, now that they feel like that they are, when you hear what some of these congressmen are saying, now that they feel like they have been, let me see, what's the word I'm trying to say? They have been authorized or validated, or I don't know the word. But they're just saying all kinds of things like, the Speaker of the House here in Alabama said we need to get rid of the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment is the amendment that says that everybody born in the United States is a citizen. It was created to give former slaves, citizenship. So they want to limit the people who are citizens. So if you get rid of the 14th Amendment, then how do you determine if a person is going to be a citizen if they're born in the United States? Are you going to say that both their parents had to be citizens, or their grandparents had to be citizens, or they have to own so much property, or, all of these things, Jim Crow things that they're trying to get back to. So how you're going to determine, and who's going to make that determination? Who's going to determine whether or not you have a right to citizenship? It has to do with disenfranchising black voters because of all of the racism. And that's what I'm seeing more and more when I hear people say things. And I was talking to Joyce and Althea, and I was asking them earlier, had they heard Jesse Waters, the host on Fox News, and he was talking about the blacks. I don't know why the blacks are concerned complaining what they're complaining about. They're only 15% of the population, and maybe nationwide that might be true, but down here in the South we have some large populations. But he said, so all I can say for the blacks, if they want more representation, then they need to get busy. They need to get busy in between the sheets. I mean, and so you heard that, and then the other little hosts and people on the panel were just snickering and giggling like that was just some cute stuff to say. But it's all manner of racist rhetoric that is coming out of the people who are in charge, the ones that are trying to prevent, who are trying to rid or whitewash, is what I say, trying to whitewash their congressional delegations, get rid of all of the black votes. And I want y'all to answer this question for me about the Supreme Court. And this is not one that I had, but this is one that I want to add. Yes, and they are bold enough with boy and the N-word. That video, Jonina was sad, but then like Annie said, they're calling people in, other congressmen are calling black congressmen boys and stuff. Shut up, boy. And all this kind of stuff. They're bold. They have been emboldened, and their racism has been stirred up in them. But I want to ask this question. Do we need to expand the Supreme Court? We know that Trump has packed the Supreme Court with extremist, right-wing judges. And then, of course, we got the ones that were already on there, Clarence Thomas and Alito. And I guess I tried to give, the other guy, I can't even call his name right now, too much credit, because he just, Oh, y'all tell me what his name is. The one that's the head of the Supreme Court. I can't think of him right now. The racism is strong and it is extreme. You are right, Duchess and Duchess. And Annie. So do you all think that there needs to be something done about the Supreme Court? And I know when Biden was there and he tried to play real fair with them, and they tried to get them to add additional Supreme Court, get rid of Roberts. That's right, Judge Roberts. I tried to give him too much credit, but a lot of this stuff he knows is wrong, because with Alabama, with the Alabama map, it was just 3 years ago that this very same Supreme Court said that Alabama's the way they had their congressional districts, their map was discriminatory against black people. They had to change the map. They had to create another minority-majority district just 3 years ago. And then now all of a sudden, it has changed. Now all of a sudden you have flipped the script, and now that map, that was the old map, the new map is the one that it discriminated, and the old map is the good map, and all this kind of carrying on. Does the Supreme Court, do they need to add some justices so that we can balance out the Supreme Court? Because they're making a lot of decisions that are really impacting this nation in a very, from my perspective, it's not balanced. It should be balanced so that you can have a real discussion, not just so out of proportion with 6 right-wing judges and only 3 left-wing judges, or judges that were, they're not supposed to be partisan. First of all, they're supposed to be looking at the Constitution and making calls, not laws. They're not supposed to be making laws. They're supposed to be determining the validity of laws based on the Constitution, not based on which party put them in that position. Should there be term limits on Supreme Court justices? Should it be reformed? What do you guys think about that? Connie said, absolutely. People will follow their leader. If the leader act in a disrespect with no accountability, the people will do the same. You are so correct, Connie. Andy says there needs to be an age and term limit for the Supreme Court. I think it should be term limited. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I think all of it should be term limited. The senators, the representatives in the House, the Supreme Court, and God forbid, of course, the presidency. But I promise you guys, if these people can figure out a way to keep Donald Trump, if he's yet breathing, as long as he's breathing, if they can keep him in office a third term, they will definitely try to be. They will try to do that. Darlene said that the Supreme Court should be balanced. Yes, I think it should be balanced as well. And then the question and Glennie said absolutely. And then the question I asked Joyce, and we were talking about this earlier, is the why. Why? We realize that there are some people that just hate black people. Why? We have never, as a people, really done anything to hurt this country. Our ancestors were in their own country, minding their own business, when they would come and they were kidnapped from their country. They were stolen from their own country, minding their own business. They weren't trying to cross the border. The border crossed them. So why is it that you got us over here? You stole us from our land. You stole us from our families. You stole us from our culture. You tried to strip us of our identity. All of these things that you did, you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it because you know it's atrocious. And you know it's savage. You love to call other people savage, but you know what you did is savage. You know you came over here and you killed the Indians. You took everything that they had. The Native Americans, you took all that they had, and you want to put them in some little concentration camps and call them reservations. But you hate us. We didn't do anything to you. Why do you hate us? Can y'all answer that question for me? That's one I put out there. Why are we so hated by many of our Caucasian brothers and sisters, or our fellow Caucasian Americans? Why do they hate us when we as a people have done nothing but try to assimilate, try to please, try to make this country our own, try to be true to this country? We fought in their wars, we built their buildings, we raised their kids. Why do they hate African Americans so much? Glennie said, in my opinion, racism is taught. So they're taught to hate us. And Jonina said, did you say concentration camps? Yes, I did. They put Native Americans, we're going to give you this little piece of land and you go in here. And you doing us a favor when everything here belonged to us. You came and discovered our land and we were already living here. Now, Jonina, what if I came over there and just moved into your house and said, oh, y'all, I discovered me a new place to stay. And you over there living already and you have made your home and you got everything that you need and you're minding your own business, and I just to come and discover me a new house. And I'm just going to put you and Melvin out because I done discovered me a new place to stay. How that sound? That sounds crazy, doesn't it? But that is what America did to the Native Americans. But I'm just, and so Glennie, you said it's just racism is taught. Racism is taught. I really think that they hate us because they can't kill us. You tried real hard to kill us, to kill our spirit, to break us, to make us feel like we are inferior. We are inferior. You're the superior race. But we are conquerors, more than conquerors. We are more than survivors. We're not only surviving, but we're thriving. And you say, as much as we did to you, put you in shackles, beat you, cut off parts of your limbs, separated your family, stripped your children away from you. We didn't want you to learn how to read and write. We tried our best to keep you from doing that. We didn't give you any, we didn't even consider you as human beings. We didn't even give you any money. We worked you from kin to cane for nothing. And despite all that, you're still here. You're still striving. You're still surviving. You're still thriving. And then Joyce was talking about how you can't make a black person out of a white person. We're the originals. You're the mutation. And is that why you're angry? Because we are the original human beings. You're the mutants. Are you angry because of our skill? Are you angry because our talent, the fact that we're talented, we're intelligent, we're articulate, we're strong, we're resilient? As Maya Angelou says, does our sassiness offend you? Because we can come out of our house, our little shack that we came out of when we were little, and our clothes be ironed and cleaned, our faces cleaned, our heads are held high, and we're feeling like we are not second-class citizens. Does that offend you? Darlene Tarr says, that's something I've always wanted to know, why they hate us. Michi Williams said, we have more knowledge than them and we know how to survive better than them. We are survivors. We are conquerors. We are conquerors. All right, and then the last question I have for us guys is, what steps can we take to overcome these attempts to whitewash government in the South? We know that that's what they're trying to do, but what is it? Connie said, come on, Juju. You nailed it, Julia. They are jealous. So what is it that we can do to overcome these attempts to whitewash government here in the South, to take us back to Jim Crow 2.0? What can we do? We say we're not going back, but we can't just say that we're not going back, because if we just say it and don't put any action to it, we'll look up and we'll be back. So how do we keep from going backwards? I think we've already digressed a little bit, so we have got to make up the ground that we've lost, and then we have to figure out how we continue to move forward. How do we make up for the ground that we've lost and then continue to learn and become more educated on these topics? Yes, we have to learn and become more educated on these topics. Come together. That's what I was just thinking, Connie. United we stand. What did they sing on Good Time? United we stand, divided we fall. Tied in the pantyhose, two sides are small. Yes, we have to unite. We need a vision and a plan. Yes, I said that when the Republicans came out with their Project 2025 plan, the Democratic should have started writing theirs then, writing out their plan. But we as black people need some leaders that are going to write out a plan. And some of us are going to have to step up and lead and get to writing on our plan, because we do need a plan. Because without a plan, you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going, how you going to know when you get there? All right, so we need to stick together and move forward, yes. And we need to make sure that we vote. If we vote, if we here in these United States, if we here in these southern states, where our population is 25 and 30% of the population, if we get our people out to vote, we can do anything. We can overcome any obstacle, hurdle they put in our way, because we have enough people to overcome the stumbling blocks that they trying to put in our way. We have to make sure that our people are engaged, our people understand the severity of what is going on, and our people are getting out and doing what they need to do. We have got to get out there, guys, and we have got to encourage people to vote. We got to register people for voting. We got to help those people who have lost their voting rights, if they're eligible, to restore those rights. And then we got to mobilize these people and get them to the polls and make sure to vote. What we need to do is show them it does not matter how many stumbling block obstacles you put in our way. No weapons formed against us shall prosper. Okay? All right now, so we got it. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it. Glenny says, exercise your right to vote. Exactly, Glenny. And yes, I guess they didn't believe them. I guess they didn't believe them in Project 2025. Old folks say, when they show you, believe them. Exactly. When they tell you, show you who they are, believe them. But know that greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So we have the ability to overcome whatever obstacles they put in our way. We just have to believe in ourselves, believe in our brothers and sisters. We do need to unify, become one, and we do need to develop a plan and work that plan, and that plan has to include every eligible person voting. We need everyone around us. If you got to drag them to the polls kicking and screaming, drag them, grab them by the hair, pull them on, because this is situation critical, y'all. Situation critical. I want to thank you guys so much for engaging with me tonight, and also I need to thank everybody who came out yesterday to Nazareth to support us. It was an awesome event. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Please continue to support Let's Talk. Please continue to engage with us. We have more great topics coming up. Next Sunday is a must. You got to mark your calendar, be here. We're going to talk about mental health, but we're going to have some some young people who have experienced some things, who have been through and who have come out on the other side. They got some very powerful stories that you are going to not want to miss. They have some powerful stories. And guys, I want to tell you this: protect your babies. Protect your children with everything that you have, because there are predators out there looking to destroy them. And once they have taken advantage of your babies, then it's hard work for your babies to overcome it. But know that they can overcome it. And I have some young people that are going to come talk to us and share their stories next week. Very powerful stories. You are going to want to be here next week. So make sure you mark your calendar and set your clock for 7 o'clock next week. We're going to talk about mental health awareness in youth and young adults next week. You're going to want to be a part of that. Don't forget, guys, St. Luke AME Church is having their Juneteenth celebration, and I'm going to start flooding the zone. Y'all going to get tired of me. But anyway, we need your support. We want your support. Vendors, sponsors, entertainment. And if you can't come, you just want a donation, you can go and you can go to the website, and you'll be able to do all of that. And I'm going to post all this right here in post it right here in the chat for you. so that you can go and if you want to be a vendor, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to sponsors, vendors, sponsors, yes, entertainment, yes. If you want to do that, or if you want to make a donation, you can do all of that at this website. I just posted it in the chat for you guys, so make sure that you support in any way that you can, and I want to thank you in advance for that support. Also, guys, don't forget, Duchess Thomas is your Mary Kay consultant. If you need some Mary Kay, call Duchess. She can get you hooked up with that. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I did post the portion of the session from yesterday. Yeah, Glennie, it is on it's on my Facebook page. I did post it, and it's also on my YouTube page. That is Juju's Dollhouse. That's my YouTube page, Juju's Dollhouse. I'll post that as well. That is also there, or I posted it on thing. And if y'all haven't subscribed to my my page, Juju's Dollhouse, y'all go ahead and do that as well. Subscribe to Juju's Dollhouse, and that way you can wait a minute. So you can do. Wait a minute, I got some little voice here. You can do. You can go to the web page, and you can go to my YouTube channel and see that. But anyway, thank you so much. Hey, Oscar Penn. Hey, family. One love, family. All right, then, guys. Thank you all so much for everything. I am Juju, that mountain moving giant slayer. I'm walking by faith, inspiring hope, and showing love all along the way. Until next time, I wish all of you much love and many blessings. Doll, there we are. Much love and many blessings. Good night, guys.